Jared Boyd here, physical therapist and strength coach at Rehab to Perform here in Frederick. Here to kind of give you all some more advice about how to program your strength session regarding our community talk about bulletproofing your run. Got a lot of questions about, well, how do I put together a nice program 2 times a week, and what are some things that should be included in that program. So here, Whiteboard, I have lined out day 1 and day 2 in regard to how you can implement a proper strength training regimen. So I'll kind of take you all through day 1 and then we'll go into day 2. Here we have day 1, we're starting off with plyometrics. I want to start off with that because it's more of a taxing move. So we want to do our more difficult move at the beginning of the session. So here, day 1, plyometric, we're going to do bounding. With all these exercises on here, you can look onto our YouTube database and we'll have examples of how to perform all these exercises. After plyometrics, we can move into our first exercise, which is going to be split squats. Split squats, we want to perform these 2 to 3 sets of about 6 to 8 repetitions. You want to have about a minute and a half or 90 seconds of a rest break in between that because, again, we're training strength, so we want to make sure that we can exude the same amount of power output on each set. And then here, 1B is going to be half kneeling chop. 1B simply means it's a superset. So we'll do our split squat first, and then in between that, we'll go into our half kneeling chop or our anti-rotation exercise to make sure we're getting some type of core integrated in with our whole body. After this series, we'll move into our next set, which is going to be 2A, our lateral squat. After lateral squat, we'll move into a superset as well, focusing on power press or anti-rotational exercises. Here's more of our knee dominant group. So we're focusing primarily on quadriceps or front of the body muscles. Here, after this, day 2, which is going to be about a day or 2 after performing our day 1 exercises just for recovery purposes, we'll go into our more hip dominant exercises where we're primarily focusing on hamstrings and glutes. First off, we're starting with our plyometric again because it's a little more rigorous and intensive, so we want to execute that first. Plyometrics, we'll do our hop and stick series where we can start off with linear, lateral, and then transition into rotational, which is going to be more demanding. Next, we'll go into 1A, kettlebell swings, single arm. After a set of our kettlebell swings, we'll move into your half kneeling single arm press. This is more of an anti-extension based exercise, meaning we're trying to limit extension throughout the low back so we can maintain a neutral core. After these exercises here, once we complete 3 rounds or 3 sets of this, we'll move into our 2A and 2B. 2A is going to be a single leg deadlift, focusing on control and stability, but still making sure that we're maintaining strength. After this, we'll go into 2B, TRX Fall Out. This is our anti-extension based exercise to pair up with the hip dominant exercises here to make sure that we maintain neutral core again. I think this here is a great template to help out with initiating and creating a nice solid framework for implementing some strength training principles. We have more of a knee dominant or quadricep dominant day. Then we have more of a hip dominant or glute hamstring focused day with more attention to anti-extension versus day 1, we're focusing on anti-rotational based exercises. This is not really the end all be all, but it's a good way to try to initiate exercises. And then if you look onto our YouTube series, you can see some exercises that may be a little more advanced after you've conquered some of these.